Hello, good morning, students. I welcome you in lecture number 17. In previous lecture, we just completed chapter and exercise. And at that time, I told you to discuss HOTS and value based questions of this lesson and of previous lesson means chapter number 2 also, because at that time we have not solved them here. Now again I reminding you, no need to write these HOTS and value based question in fair book, but if you want you can, not compulsory, but can be asked in exam. Understood well? Okay. So now, so I actually advise to write down in fair book, because if you not write, then how will you prepare them? Okay. So let's change that my instruction. So right now I am telling to write in fair book. Okay. Because it is necessary for preparation of particular lessons for exam purpose. So first of all, let's discuss here lesson number 1's HOTS. Open your book at page number 36. Page number 36. Look there, higher order thinking skills. First question, how many rational numbers exist between any two distinct rational numbers? How many rational numbers exist between any two distinct rational numbers? So obviously infinitely many. Infinitely many. Why? Because that is the concept. So many rational number can be inserted between any two numbers. Even between 2 and 3, I can insert so many infinite numbers of rational numbers. Okay, so in first one, infinitely many. Second one, 4 divided by 2 equal to 2 divided by 4. What does it show? Means we just give answer that given statement is correct or incorrect. So that way we have to answer. So obviously, you know, in division and multiplication, commutative law doesn't apply. Okay, so it's not applicable here. So obviously it is false. If you want to give reason, then you can say commutative law is applicable in addition and multiplication only, not for division. Okay. So in second one it is wrong, not right. Reason you can give, that is the commutative law which is not applicable for division. Number 3, is 0.3 the multiplicative inverse of 3 integer 1 by 3? Why or why not? So whether they are multiplicative inverse or not, you just find product of it. If product will be 1, then obviously they are multiplicative inverse of each other. Product should be 1. Okay. So let do it. Actually they have given 0.3 multiply 3 integer 1 by 3. Let's see how much it is. So is equal to 3 by 10. 3 by 10, because decimal is converted into fraction by putting 10 here. 3 3s are 9 plus 1, 10 by 3. Obviously 1. So reason also we explain here. So that is reason only. Explanation or calculation itself is a reason only. Otherwise you can say product of 0.3 and 3 integer 1 by 3 is 1. Therefore, what they ask, 0.3 is multiplicative inverse or not? Therefore, 0.3 is multiplicative inverse of 3 integer 1 by 3. Okay, so understand well. Okay, because for getting inverse, product should be 1 because it is property or definition of inverse only, multiplicative inverse. And in additive inverse, sum should be 0. I am talking about extra thing. In additive inverse, sum should be 0. In multiplicative inverse, multiplication should be 1. So understand it well and note it down. Okay, this is question number 3. Horse. Okay, now look at next number 4, question number 4. We are at page number 36, page number 36. Okay, using appropriate properties, find it. So it is given minus 2 by 3 into 3 by 5 plus 5 by 2 minus 3 by 5 into 1 by 6. Total 3 terms are there. You can say this is the first term, second term, third term. Why? Understand well. Up to plus minus 1 term is there. Okay, till plus or minus sign outside bracket or not inside bracket. So up to plus or minus sign single term is there. Then after new term start. So these both number collectively forming one term only. This is single number in second term and again 2 or 3 or maybe many numbers in any term. Okay. So now you can somewhat simplify here because you can see here 3 by 3 by is there. So can we apply here associative law? What is the associative law? For adding or multiplication of addition or multiplication, we can group in any order. Any way we can make group. So let's we make here group of this term and this term first of all. So it will be minus 2 by 3 into 3 by 5 minus 3 by 5 into 1 by 6. Okay, actually this bracket is not necessary. I just telling you term 3 terms are there. How? Okay, now plus 5 by 2 only. Why we selected this and these terms only for making one group? Because having something common here. Okay, so I can take here 3 by 5 common. 3 by 5 common. So what will be here? Minus 2 by 3 and minus 1 by 6. Out of this one, this is left, this is already outside. Now whatever sign here, just put it. 3 by 5 came outside, 1 by 6 left. Nothing to do for 5 by 2. Here you can say associative law. Associative law means to combine any two terms. Okay, so now it will be 6 only. So here minus 2 by 3 into 2 and here minus 1 by 6. So 3 by 5 minus 4 by 6 minus 1 by 6 plus 5 by 2. So it will be 3 by 5. Now you can add them because 6 is here. So minus 4 minus 1 minus 5 plus 5 by 2. So now 5 cancel, minus 1 left here, 3 into 2. So it is minus 1 by 2. So let's write here is equal to minus 1 by 2 here plus 5 by 2 is there. Now just combine them. So obviously it will be 2 minus 1 plus 5. No need to cross multiply or LCM here because denominators are already equal. So it will be 4 by 2, 2 only. Okay, understand well and take screenshot if you want. Okay, so final answer is 2, but we tactfully solve it, means we used here property. Associative property is used here. Taking common is not actually distributive property. If bracket is already given and you open the bracket, then it will be distributive property. So far only associative property we used here. Okay, now look at value based question. Value based questions. How many pieces of rope of each 5 integer 1 by 6 meters long can be cut from a rope of 77 integer 1 by 2 meters long? It is very simple. You just divide 77 integer 1 by 2 by 5 integer 1 by 6. If you are not getting that, then just understand by cross multiplication step also. But simply only you can know it, and I expect that way only you have to solve. So total length is given 77 integer 1 by 2 and they want piece, so many pieces of length 5 integer 1 by 6 meter is. So number of pieces we can obviously get. So directly you can say, yeah, write down the length of each piece. Just data you have to write 1 equal to 5 integer 1 by 6 meter means 6 5 is 30 plus 1, 31 by 6 meter. You know how to convert improper fraction into, mixed fraction into improper fraction. Same way total length also there. It is given 77 integer 1 by 2. So it will be 154 plus 1, 155 by 2 meter. Now you can say number of pieces equal to total length upon length of each piece. Where from it came? It is very simple. By using common sense only, you can know it. So, 155 by 2 upon 31 upon 6. So, you can write 155 by 2 into 6 upon 31. Why? Because denominator is converted, means division is converted into multiplication by inverting the divisor. So, divisor is reciprocated here. So, now you can say it is 3 1 into 5 and 2 into 3. So, how many pieces are there? 15. At last you can give statement also that 15 pieces can cut from a given drop. Sometimes student may confuse that what to do, whether to multiply or to divide. If in this type cases you can use cross multiplication step also, it is very simple. This is one piece. So this is how many pieces? So 31 by 6 meter equivalent to one piece. So 155 by 2 meter, how many pieces? Cross multiply it. So obviously this is numerator, this is in denominator. So you can know where from this came. Okay, now read next one. Area of rectangle given. In its side, one side given, other side is to be found. So it is again very simple, because you know area is equal to length into breadth, means one side into other side. So area equal to length into breadth. Area of what? Rectangle. You can write clearly also. Area of rectangle. Okay. Now they have given area is 120 upon 49. Actually it is not geometry. Our main purpose here to deal with rational numbers. That's why they have given the area and length, and required answer will be also in rational form. So our main purpose here to how to operate upon rational numbers. Okay. Suppose any one side means length is given and we want to find this B. Okay, shift it here. So 120 upon 49 into 7 upon 10. So it will be 12 upon 7. So 12 upon 7 meter, because it is given everywhere, sorry, centimeter. At last you can say, because B is our own symbol, so write down length of other side is, because it is not clear itself. So length of other side of rectangle is how much? 12 by 7 centimeter. Okay, so understand well. Now come at lesson number 2. So there also HOTS and value based questions are given. So let's see that questions also right now on page number 47. Okay, now look at first one. It is quite different types of question. So far in whole lesson, you never solve this type of question here. Okay, so try to understand, and whatever the concept they want to teach us, that is also important here. Okay, so they have given x raised to y is equal to y raised to x. X raised to y equal to y raised to x. Now what they want? Find the value of x by y raised to x by y in terms of power of x. So they want x by y raised to x by y. In terms of powers of x. So powers of x means what? Base should be x only. Powers of x means base should be x. So in base we have to remove y. So what to do here? Try to understand well. First of all, if you want to remove any variable from any expression, then you have to subject it from whatever given the relation between them. So here I want to remove y. So I have to put something in place of y, obviously. What to put? So somewhere expression of y should be there. Somewhere expression of y should be there. So let's we get here y equal to something. How? How to subject it? Suppose you can say 2x equal to 5y, then you can shift 5 here. So it is the expression of y. But now what to do? How to shift x there? Yes, you can shift power left to right or right to left. Okay. So it will be inverted power only. Otherwise, just in other language, I saying I want to remove here x because I want to subject y, means expression of y I required. So at both sides, I just do raised to 1 by x. Why? My main purpose is to remove y. So I want here y only, not this one. So for getting it cancelled, I just do both side raised to 1 by x. So whatever is there, just write down x raised to y raised to x. Okay. Now just open bracket. What we do, you understood? Both side square, both side cube, both side square root, cube root, x root, whatever you want, you can do, but both side process should be same only. So here you can say it will be y upon x, powers power multiply. You know power rule. So power's law is what? This into this. So y into 1 by x means y by x. In here, y into x by x means 1. Y into x by x means nothing, 1. So x raised to y by x is equal to y only. Okay, raised to 1 means nothing. So y is equal to x raised to y by x. So we get something from given relation of x and y. The expression of y, expression of anything means what? alone that variable should be there. No coefficient, no degree, no negative sign, nothing there. If I want to subject x, then x should be there. Subject y, then only y should be there. No negative sign, no coefficient, no raised to something, no upon something, nothing is there. Alone should be there. So I remove here degree also. So at last I got y equal to something. Now I can place there y. What is the condition they have given? They have given in terms of powers of x, means base should have x only. In base no y should be there. So we planning to remove y, and that's why we got here expression of y. Okay, so now I can use this result there. X by y. Now x raised to y by x. Okay. You can give reason by 1. You are using 1. So why we given here result number? Because whenever we want to use that, at that time we can say this is from that result. Okay, now you can open bracket, so this power will be applied here and here also. So it will be x raised to x by y upon x raised to y by x into x by y. Okay, so what happens here? X raised to x by y upon x only. Everything cancel out, raised to 1. Okay, and here just you can apply x upon y. या तो something differently you just say a upon b raised to m is equal to reason a raised to m b raised to m. Okay, opening of bracket means what? This degree or power or exponent should be applied to both ones, so it is applied to both ones. So these are reason. Okay, now you know quotient law. Quotient law means if division is there, you can subtract exponents. So now I can write x raised to x by y minus 1. Okay, degree of numerator minus degree of denominator. So just simplify it here. So it will be x raised to, now take here LCM, means cross multiply. So it will be x minus y. So that is our final answer. Okay, I repeating again. First of all, this is given. They want this expression in terms of power of x, means base having x only, so we plan to remove y. For removing y, we should have any expression of y in terms of x, so that whenever you replace y, at that time x automatically come there in the base only, not in power. So for that purpose we use whatever they have given. What I have done here, both side 1 by x power I write. Means x root is taken both side. X root is taken both side. Just like raised to 1 by 2 means what? Square root. Raised to 1 by 3 means cube root. So here x root I have taken both sides. Why? Right? Because I want to at right side y only, nothing else. So for cancelling out x, I here do raised to 1 by x, so here also. So what happened? X into 1 by x, y into 1 by x. So it will be y by x by x means 1. So we got here y equal to something and placed here in place of y. Now just bracket open, so means according to that law, the degree is applied to both ones. And it is simplified again. Okay, so now quotient law applied, division is there, so power subtracted. Means exponents are subtracted and LCM is taken at exponent. So that is our final answer. Okay, so that you have to write systematically in your book. Okay, two parts are here. We work here also. Actually, our this part is main. Okay, now look at next one. Second, it was first. Okay, simplify whatever given 1 upon 1 plus x raised to minus m plus 1 1 plus x raised to plus m. Here raised to minus m, here plus m. Now we have to simplify. First of all, here negative degree. So convert it into positive ones. How? By reciprocating base. So you can write here 1 1 plus 1 by x raised to m. Okay, you know a raised to minus m is equal to 1 upon a raised to m. This is the law. Okay, if you want, you can write here 1 by 1 also. Now nothing to do here. It is okay. Here take LCM, means cross multiply here. So it will be 1 x raised to m into 1 x raised to m. Now cross multiply. So x raised to m plus 1. Okay, second term just write down as it is. Okay, now you know denominator go to numerator. So it will be at numerator, this one. So it is x raised to m plus 1, and here also I can write x raised to m plus 1, both are same only, because sequence is not important in addition or multiplication, means commutative law follows there. Okay, now again both having same base, so no take to LCM, multiply anything, just add both numerators. So they becomes totally equal. If numerator is equal to denominator equal to 1. Okay, you can write here reason x by x or some anyone, a by a equal to 1. Because cancel out. Whole numerator is cancel out to whole denominator. So 1 is left. Okay, so again it is quite new to you, and don't confuse this type of theoretical sums. Okay, just try to understand and practice them well also. Okay, and now write down it systematically, otherwise take right now screenshot only, and later on you just write it well. Third one, it is value based. Value based means you have to decide value there. X plus y raised to x is equal to y raised to x plus z raised to x. Actually here no particular law to decide what should be x, y and z. No simplification, no calculation. Just by trial and error method, you have to decide what should be value of x, y and z so that both sides becomes equal. Okay, and take smaller numbers only. Small like 0, 1, 2, 3, but x, y, z having different value because they are distinct, means different variable. Okay, so after getting so much inclusion or thinking there, you can decide the what should be the value of x, y and z. Okay, they have not given anything regarding x, y, z are consecutive numbers only, positive or negative, fraction over there or integers are there, nothing is given. Okay, so after so many thinking, if you think here, if x equal to 2, y equal to 3 and z equal to 4, then you just verify both will becomes, mean left hand side and right hand side will become equal. So this value should be there. How I got it? By putting different values in different combination of values there at left hand side as well as right hand side. Okay, so look here, left hand side equal to x plus y raised to x means 2 plus 3 raised to 2 means 5 raised to 2 means 25. Okay, right hand side y is taken 3 raised to 2, z is taken 4 raised to 2. So it will be 9 plus 16, 25. So becomes equal. We just here consider only value. Now it is finalized. So give therefore x equal to 2, y equal to 3, z equal to 4. Okay, so only by trial and error method you have to consider different combination of values. Okay, now number 4. We have to prove here, means verify the given whatever relation is there. So first of all, we should simplify left hand side so that right hand side we obtain or not. Sometime we have to simplify both sides. Understood? So proving or verifying step can be solved either from left to right or sometimes only right to left or just parallel. Both side you have to simplify. Okay, let's now think start from left side because something we can go ahead in left side only right now. Okay, so whatever given write down here. And if necessary, we will simplify right hand side also if we not get directly right side then. So 1 by a raised to minus 1 plus b raised to minus 1 plus again 1 by a raised to minus 1 minus b raised to minus 1. not right side now, because whenever you verify at that time, you have to prove that. So you cannot equalize from first step. How you know whether they are equal or not? Okay, so just separately you just compare them. So first of all simplify, then only compare. Okay, and you noticed in whole lesson number 2, we every time, mostly in 99% cases, we always convert negative exponent into positive ones, mostly, so that we can simplify and we can go ahead. Sometimes we not convert negative to positive whenever all bases are equal, and due to inverting that, basis becomes unequal. At that time we restrict not to convert negative to positive, but just to keep it negative exponent only. But in comparison only, if all bases are equal, then only. Now you just simplify. So in simplification cases, you have to do it. So I can write here 1 by a and 1 by b. Why? You know. Same way, 1 by a minus 1 by b. Now, whenever fractions are there and in between addition and subtraction, at that time we take LCM, means for two terms we cross multiply them. So now you just cross multiply, so it will be AB, in here B plus A. Same way here also AB and B minus A. Okay, so I nothing do only, first of all negative power converted into positive ones, so minus 1 become here plus 1, b raised to 1, a raised to 1, b, but raised to 1 not need to write here. Now LCM is taken, means cross multiply done. Okay, now you know fraction upon fraction is there. At that time, you know, if P upon Q upon R upon S is there, then you can write P upon Q into S upon. Means that division can be converted into multiplication by just reciprocating the divisor. Divisor means here denominator. So you can write here 1 by a into AB upon B plus A. Same way here also 1 by a into AB upon B minus A. Okay, you can give that reason here. Okay, make reason sign. Reason sign is quite opposite of therefore sign. Therefore sign is just like triangle, and this is therefore, and reason sign is reverse triangle. Okay, so mostly in bracket we make this type of sign. It is not so important, but in mathematics you be very careful at small points. I many times told you that your work should be neat and clean, that equality sign should be in level only. If fractions are there at numerator or at denominator, at both, then equal space should be there. So not one step then directly start in next line, second step. In between you have to skip 1 or 2 lines also. Otherwise it will be so congested that no one can decode it, no one can read it, understand it. Okay, and many times you make mistake. So at the time what to do, you just cancel that particular step or particular part of step, and then you write. So after that process, something is cancelled, something is retained there, so it is quite confusing. So again you have to write whole step. Whole step you cancel and write it again. Otherwise, if many steps are being cancelled at a time, then whole sum you have to rewrite. Whole sum you have to rewrite. Cancel whole or half sum you already written. Understood? And particularly in boards exams, That is, your presentation is very important. You are now in standard 8, but I am telling that point right now because you have to cultivate that habit from now only. So that in boards exam, assessment of boards paper doing very fast. So they have to check paper in limited times. Okay, so at that time, this type of confusions or cutting or like that, your jumble work is there, then it will be affect you negatively. Okay, so keep in mind, and rough work should be separate only, not everything together. Either rough column should be there in paper also. Otherwise, at last pages of your answer sheet, it should be there. And I even insist not to cut here in pair step. Just cut it at rough work. Just here show everything, nothing cancel. Sometimes cancellation is so much that we cannot even read what is actually was there and now what is left. Okay. So this type of small point you have to consider, and every time you have to follow it strictly. Okay, and sometimes giving number also so important. Many times there are section, then main question number, then sub question number, then again sub question numbers are there. Suppose you have written anywhere A and in next page B, then how examiner can know that is the B of which question and which sub question? So every time, whenever you give number, at that time it should be full, not half. Suppose I give you my address, I give you only street number or my home number. Is it enough? Obviously not. I have to say my society, my area, my street number, then my home number. Okay. Even if you are from outside, I have to clarify my city's name also. So if you anywhere written B on new page, you should clear is the third question, second B. Understood? So that everything is clear, whole address is there, so examiner can know, because mostly it is the rule not to write question in the answer sheet. Means if you can, if you want, you can, but it is not compulsory. So if you have not written the question itself and you write direct solution and use this written B. So there are so many B's in paper, so many B in whole paper. So which B is there? So that is also important. Sometimes, because I started the point, so I want to clarify everything regarding that. Sometimes you take supplementary or you use graph, even in social study you use map. You nothing write on that paper. You just tie it, means tie with thread or just staple it. Sometimes what happens? It release from that. Okay? And after separating from the main answer sheet, how to decide which student's sheet is there? It is sometimes very difficult to match your old student's handwriting with that paper, and it is quite time consuming and sometimes difficult also, because many students having same data. If suppose graph is there, how to compare? Graphs are almost same for all students. There is no handwriting or like that. Okay, so at that time again, your question numbers, whole address I told you, whole address of question I told you. Yours whole address should also be there. Yours means what? What is your name? What is your class? What is your division? What is your roll number? Okay, there are so many divisions, so many classes, even graphs are in all standards. How to know it? So again, same thing, your name should also be there. Your class means standard also be there, your division should also be there, and your roll number also be there. And even questions whole address should also be there. You sometimes thinking that it is quite time consuming and waste time, but it is necessary. Okay. So these are the some points regarding your particularly mathematics, it is very important. Okay, now let's again come at our this step. A cancel out, again A cancel out. Okay, whatever left, it is here B plus A. Again one thing I remember here, after cutting whatever left, just write it once, not to go ahead. In this step I have done nothing, just whatever left I have written. So this is must. Why? Because sometimes it is not clear here what is being cancelled out and what is retained there. So now it is clear that A gone, B and B plus A left here, here B left and B minus A is left. Okay, now you can say this is the fraction and in between addition. So obviously you know what to do, cross multiplication again. So do here cross multiplication step. So first of all, product of both these ones, B plus A, B minus A means you know, B square minus A square, that identity of algebraic expressions. X plus y, x minus y is equal to x square minus y square. In standard 5 you already studied that, you already remember it, and you applied it also in various sums. Okay, now cross multiply. So just multiply B with B minus A. So it will be B minus A. I am not multiplying, just putting them. Plus B plus A. Now open that bracket. Here left B square minus A square only. So it will be B square minus A square plus B square plus A square. Okay, this bracket is open. So B A means whatever you know. Okay, minus A square plus A square cancel out, whatever left, it is right side only. You just verify. Okay, they have written here B plus A, B minus A only, not B plus A, B minus. Actually, this is not wrong, but according to them only, I should write without multiply only in same form, B plus A, B minus A, here also, everywhere. Okay, so we got it. So prove. So therefore, left hand side equal to right hand side. Yeah, so hence prove. Otherwise, you can say given expression is right, given equation is right. Okay, so again, look carefully. I go there only, then this way, that way. Understand? Because no space is there. Okay, so first of all, inverse is removed, means negative exponent is removed. Then at both denominator, cross multiply done, means LCM taken. Then here divisor is multiplied by reciprocating it. So divisor is reciprocated and multiplication sign is placed. Whatever cancelled, and whatever left, written again. Then again have taken cross multiplication, then just bracket open, simplified, whatever left, that is written. Okay, so understand well and note down also it. Okay, now question number 5. Okay, 4 10 by x raised to 2 minus 6 10 by x raised to 2 plus 3, 10 by x raised to 2. Now you can see here, everywhere 10 by x raised to 2 is there, means like terms are there. They are called like terms. Like terms means you know, all are x, all are y, all are xy. Then they are like terms. Okay, means unknown should be equal. Only except coefficient, everything should be equal. Then they are called like terms. Like terms can be added or subtracted. So now I can say it is 4 plus 3, 7 minus 6 equal to 1 they have given. Huh? We have to find here x. Otherwise you consider 10 by x square is taken common because it is common everywhere. So 4 is there, minus 6 is there, and plus 3 is there. Understood? It is taken common. So here 10 by x all square, 4 plus 3, 7 minus 6, 1. So obviously it will be, and here everywhere therefore sign should be there. So 10 by x whole square equal to 1. Now finding any variable from the equation, degree should not be there. You remove that degree, whatever may be. So I remove that degree 2 by taking square root both sides. So here 10 by x equal to 1 there. Square root taken here, and here also square root of 1 is 1. So now you can say x equal to 10 because I shifted x here, 1 here. Therefore x equal to 10. That is our answer. Okay, it is very simple. Just like terms are there combined, and then square root is taken for getting x. Okay, so now what's completed, you just write down again it. Now I giving you homework from second lesson as well as from first lesson, very basic of that one only. Simplify, first of all, starting from first lesson only. 7 by 8 plus 4 integer 2 by 1 minus. Okay, this is the first. Second, if x, 3 by 2 raised to 2x plus 2 by 3 raised to 3 minus 3 is equal to 3 by 2 raised to 9. Then find x. Okay, base should be equal here. That is the main condition. Number 3. Now according to this lesson, (25 raised to 2) into 10 raised to 3 into 6 raised to 4 upon 120 raised to 3 into 9 raised to 3 and into 4 raised to 2. Okay, so find its value, whether in simplest fraction or any way. So these three sum in today's homework. Do it carefully. Here you can apply, first of all, base should be in prime So prime factorization of 25, 10, 6, everywhere prime factorization is needed. Then only basis will be same and then only you can apply product law or quotient law. Okay students, so we will meet again with new lesson and somewhat value based question left, that also we will solve first of all, then we will start new lesson. Okay, now I will explain it whichever lesson will be there. Okay, now not decided so far, that's why. Okay students, so we keep our today's lecture number 7 to be completed here and meet you very soon in lecture number 80 with new lesson, new topic. Thank you very much. Hello students, here is multiplication sign, so correct here, not addition but multiplication, then only you can solve it. Okay, thank you.